Hey, good morning. Curt Isakson here. This, as I said yesterday, each day I'll work to raise my structure and professionalism. But absolutely, I have a burning rage inside. You people that are telling me that I'm bringing up controversy and I'm hashing things out, are you the same people that you were denied your pension? Are you people that asked for mental health and were open to the public, open to your employer, and denied help? I'm just curious because I don't think you really understand. My two boys are members of the Escambia County Fire Rescue, and when I turned in my letter, June 22nd, stating that my last day would be July 31st, I was very professional. If you go back and look at all my posts, I was very professional about how much I love the Escambia County Fire Rescue. And I still do love the Escambia County Fire Rescue. You go back and look at all my posts at the end of June, all the way through July, I was professional over and over and over again. I bragged and I talked so awesome about how Escambia County Fire Rescue is. I talked about how my boys are there and I want my boys to work there. Well, on July 31st, which would have been my official last day, which was also Lieutenant Jason Menda's last day, an original hire when the department came paid in January of 2000, I was notified by the union president and the ex-union president, who still acts in the capacity of the union president, that I was not allowed to come to the fire station other than to immediately pick up any remaining items, and that I was banned from all Escambia County fire stations and firehouses. Yes. I turned in my resignation letter on June 22nd with a 5-week notice. Escambia County Fire Rescue, Escambia County Public Safety, Escambia County Attorney's Office, all the attorneys agreed to pay me for 6 weeks of leave I didn't have because they knew I had a lawsuit against them. And then on July 31st, when I was going to pay for all the food for a breakfast for all the companies in my battalion when they got off duty that morning to come by Station 12 to have breakfast with Lieutenant Jason Menda, who was leaving as an original hire, I'm told the night before that I'm not allowed to be on the property of the Escambia County Fire Rescue. It gets even worse. Within a week, Fire Chief Adam Harrison had signs put up at all 23 fire stations in Escambia County by the logistics chief or logistics manager, Jim Polkarant, that stated basically everybody knew it was about me. You know, if you can't come out of fire station, you're not, if you don't work there, yada, yada. And then they doubled down on the doors being closed, not having guests, not visitors. So can you imagine me giving my life, walking away from 9 years? I worked for the Pensacola Fire Department for 9 years. I walked away from that pension 1 year short of being vested. You have to have 10 years with Pensacola to be vested. I walked away with 9 because I was highly, highly recruited to help build the newly formed Escambia County Fire Rescue. I gave my life to that fire department. I gave a lot of my own money to that fire department. Hands down, I've spent more money than the current fire chief, deputy chief, and all the command staff working at headquarters combined. They wouldn't even buy a fireman a hamburger out of their pocket if they had to. And so, yeah, I do take it personal. I take it very personal that I'm told that I can't go by there. My oldest son will be on duty on Thanksgiving, working at a fire station with a lieutenant whose father and I worked together in a fire service at Pensacola Fire Department together. You don't think I take it personal that my son graduates 4.0 biomedical engineering, University of Florida, decides to be a firefighter? Is there a firefighter in Escambia County and a fire chief and deputy chief that have been jealous, hated me, and caused me problems for decades are going to say I can't come to the fire station on Thanksgiving? Come on, give me a reason why I shouldn't tell the public this. Come on, type it up. I'd like to hear your justification. I'm just supposed to move on. By the way, I don't have a pension. They cut me 9 months short of getting my pension. Yes. See, the problem is most people don't have the ability, the urge, the strength, the willingness to fight. But I'll say it again, I'm not backing down. I know what's right. I know what's wrong. I know what they got in their closet, and it's a lot. I ain't even thought about sharing everything that's in their closet, but they pushed me far enough, I'll share the darkest secrets of that fire chief and deputy chief that they don't want anybody in the world to know. I'm done. You deny me coming by a fire station of a county fire department I gave my life to, you're going to tell me that I can't go there on Thanksgiving when my oldest son's working? Remember, this was before anything I've done this last week or two. This was when I was being professional. I was being nice. Remember, I don't remember anything I did on May 8th. I had a suicidal plan. I consumed massive amounts of drugs and alcohol to have the courage to pull that plan off. But Chief Billy Goldfeder had been contacted. He got on-duty firefighters and a chief officer at the Ronald Reagan Airport, Washington, D.C., to find me where I was hidden and save my life. That's what they did. They saved my life. They loaded me in the IAFFCOE and got me to the COE. I have no recollection of what I did on May 8th. But what I did on May 8th was because that letter that was sent to me the day before, on May 7th, before I left, and I was in the airport, and the public safety director denies me the ability to use swaps. I am the only person, the first person, only person, last person in the history of Escambia County Fire Rescue that's been denied swaps. And it was in writing on a letter. I posted the letter. Remember that. In the history of Escambia County Fire Rescue, nobody even ever denied swaps but me. Nobody else. And this was before May 8th. If you remember, a week before that, I posted another letter from Nikki Powell, the Human Resource Director at Escambia County, who had a mandatory mental health class for all supervisors of Escambia County. I missed that class. I got written up for missing that class, was then mandated to report to South Palavar Street to take the class. I took the class about mental health and supervisor. I then asked for help, and in a letter from the same lady, the HR director, who's also connected with Escambia County Fire Rescue, that I will make it public too. And it ain't pretty, I can promise you that, because she's got a vendetta against me and Escambia County Fire Rescue. And she put it in a letter, and I posted on social media back then, that there is no mental health program and there is no funding for a mental health program for all 1,000+ employees at Escambia County. How is Escambia County, metro population, home of the Blue Angels, home of naval aviation, home of one of the most pro-military places in the United States of America, and the government, Escambia County, who has a patch with the Blue Angels on their government patch, has zero funding for mental health, zero mental health program? Ask the question. See, I have the willingness to fight. I have the willingness to push forward when all of you think I should just sleep and be quiet. It's unaccepted. I have 3 kids that have given everything I could give to make them the best they could be to contribute to the greatest country on the planet. I'm not going to sit back and not fight for them to have a program, for them to have help when needed. So think about that. What people need to start doing is calling the Escambia County BOCC and saying, why is there no funding for mental health? Why is there not a mental health program, but you make supervisors take a class about mental health to be able to notice there's a mental health issue, but then when that employee asks for help, there's no program, there's no funding. I have it in writing from Nikki Powell, the Human Resource Director of Escambia County. I'll be coming back here every single day, and I'll continue to post. I will continue to fight, and eventually I'll be standing with a sign on South Halifax in front of that big building until they fund a mental health program, until they have a mental health program, until they hold accountable people at the highest levels at Escambia County. We have videos, we have audio of incidents of significant unprofessionalism on incidents. It's all recorded. We have the videos, we have the audio, we have it all. But there's no accountability at that level. And when I ask for help, I'm denied. I'm shunned away. So if you're just coming in, listen to the first part of this video. I'll leave it with this. Imagine if your kids were on duty for a holiday at the fire department and you were told you can't come to the fire station. You were banned from the firehouses. This dates back months and months. I've only scratched the surface of this story. There is more to come. Thank you. God bless you.